Namaste and welcome, beloved mighty companions.
The webcam. Que dar la vuelta.
One. Thank you for joining us, beloveds.
Gracias por unirse, amados.
We're here to celebrate all the love is given by the Father.
Estamos aquí para celebrar todo el amor que el Padre nos dio.
In gratitude to Jesus for bringing us together.
En gratitud a Jesús por unirnos.
To remind us that the only thing of value is the love of the Father.
Para recordarnos que lo único valioso es el amor del Padre.
And to ask Him about willingness.
Y preguntarle a Él sobre la voluntad.
He's taught me and teaching me the deep value of going to Him directly and letting Him tell me or explain in my heart every term in Course in Miracles.
Él me está enseñando a preguntarle, a que me enseñe en mi corazón su enseñanza del curso.
It's such a good practice to do that.
Es una buena práctica pedirle que nos enseñe los términos.
Because He's the one to teach us the Course in Miracles.
Porque Él es el que enseña el curso de milagros.
You know, he's saying, that's what willingness is, just to hear what I have to say for you.
Y dice, esa es la voluntad, estar dispuesto a escuchar lo que te tengo que decir.
And the ego is every reason not to listen to our natural voice, Jesus's voice.
Y el ego busca todas las razones para no escuchar la voz de Jesús, nuestra voz natural.
And he's reminding me, don't wait to speak to him, talk to him now.
Y él me está recordando, no esperes a hablar conmigo, habla ahora.
You know, for a time it might seem, oh, look, there's a voice speaking Jesus over there.
Pero en algún momento parecía como si fuese algo sorpresivo. Oh, mira, la voz de Jesús está hablando.
But we have to see that we are the voice.
Pero tenemos que ver que nosotros somos la voz.
We're the voice for God.
Nosotros somos la voz de Dios.
All the love of the Father is us.
Todo el amor del Padre somos nosotros.
So much happiness in this.
Y hay mucha felicidad en esto.
So Jesus will you talk about willingness?
Así que Jesús nos va a hablar sobre la voluntad.
He says willingness is what you are. That's just you.
Dice, la voluntad es lo que tú eres, eso eres tú.
You don't know anything other than willingness.
Tú no sabes otra cosa más que la voluntad.
Because the Father sings in us. We're the expression of the Father, never apart from the Father.
Porque nosotros somos la expresión del Padre, nunca estamos aparte del Padre.
So it's just a word he's used to say willing not to say no to yourself.
Solamente es una palabra que significa tener la voluntad de dejar de escucharte a ti mismo, voluntad de escucharte a ti mismo.
Now in the Course it says willingness to see things another way.
El curso dice voluntad de ver las cosas de una manera distinta.
And, you know, I can remember when he would talk about a little willingness, I was thinking, Jesus, this does not feel like a little willingness to me.
Yo me acuerdo cuando leía, lo que decía sobre la pequeña dosis de buena voluntad, y yo decía, Jesús, esto no me parece una pequeña dosis.
And then in Jesus, the New Covenant, he said to me, when you see how much willingness you truly have, you will weep.
Y después me decía en el Nuevo Convenio, cuando veas la voluntad que tienes, vas a llorar.
Because all the power of God is behind willingness. You have to see that.
Porque todo el poder de Dios está en la voluntad. Tienes que ver esto.
You know, we're packing all God's love behind willingness.
Todo el amor de Dios está detrás de la voluntad.
It's just the reversal. Instead of saying no thank you to Jesus,
Es una inversión. En vez de decirle no, gracias Jesús,
maybe I'm wrong,
quizá esté equivocado
maybe he's right,
y quizá él tiene razón.
maybe I truly am supreme happiness.
Quizá yo soy la felicidad suprema.
Maybe I am all that is given by the Father, perfect, holy, whole, and complete, like now.
Quizá yo soy todo lo que el Padre creó, perfecto, pleno, completo, ahora.
Maybe I can have complete health and happiness and infinite joy right now.
Quizá yo ya tengo la felicidad y ya estoy completo justo ahora.
You know, and as some thoughts were coming in around willingness, today he was reminding me, just notice infinite light.
Hoy día él me estaba recordando, simplemente nota la luz ahora.
The holy instant, just notice that.
Date cuenta del instante santo.
That there's an infinite light here. It takes no time to notice, it's just here.
Que hay una luz infinita aquí que no requiere ningún tiempo para darse cuenta de que ya está aquí.
Because infinite light doesn't know what willingness is, it just is.
La luz infinita no sabe lo que es la voluntad, simplemente es.
But it's the consciousness is a play to go outward looking for love in all the wrong places.
Y la conciencia es el juego de ir a buscar al mundo el amor en un lugar equivocado.
So you notice in A Course in Miracles and other spiritual traditions, you start to use the power of focus to look inward, not so much in the world, but to see what's really here now.
En muchas tradiciones se enseña a ver lo que está más allá del mundo, a ver lo que está aquí ahora.
Instead of focusing on thoughts and feelings and emotions and all this mushroom cloud of kerfuffle,
En vez de enfocarse en los sentimientos, pensamientos, emociones y todo este conflicto,
Jesus is training us to turn toward infinite light, what we are.
Jesús nos está enseñando a mirar la luz infinita de lo que somos.
Come to me. I'm leading to you to see what you already are.
Ven a mí. Ven para que yo te muestre quién eres realmente.
And notice infinite light. It doesn't take any effort to recognize. It's just a recognition. Oh, there's something here that's infinite.
Y nota que la luz infinita no necesita ningún esfuerzo para reconocerse
You
a
don't
sí
break.
misma.
When you notice light, before time began, you don't break a sweat.
Can you repeat?
You don't break into a sweat. Remember, we were talking about sweat today? You don't break into a sweat.
La luz infinita no requiere esforzarse ni sudar por reconocerse.
You know, you don't get perspiration beads when you think just a second, a holy instant to recognize infinite light.
Se le pide que reconozcamos que se requiere el instante santo para reconocer la luz.
But there is like a moment within consciousness where there's just willingness to notice it.
Y solo requiere la voluntad en la conciencia para reconocerlo.
Because otherwise we're so wrapped up in thoughts and feelings and emotions.
Porque de otra forma nosotros estamos atrapados en sentimientos, emociones y pensamientos.
So in one less than a nanosecond, let's see, a fraction of a second.
Okay, en una fracción de segundo, en un nanosegundo.
You know, like this, you can notice that infinite light is here.
Tú puedes notar así, rápidamente, que la luz está aquí.
We're so used to denying the obvious.
Y estamos tan habituados a negar lo obvio.
In arguing, like, where is it? What is everybody talking about in spiritual circles, this infinite light?
Y a preguntar, pero espera un momento, ¿dónde está esto? ¿Qué es esto de la luz infinita?
Spend time with Jesus and doing lesson 44 and 189.
Pasa un tiempo con Jesús y hace la lección 44 y la 189,
189, yes.
la 189.
And just notice, it's just like Muji would call it natural noticing.
Simplemente reconócelo, lo que el Muji llama el reconocimiento natural.
It's like a natural, just notice that there's something here before time began.
Reconoce que hay algo aquí que está desde antes que el tiempo comenzara.
You know, you can't focus on, you can't concentrate. It's just here. It takes no concentration, no effort.
Y no requiere ni esfuerzo ni concentración para que notes que está aquí.
It's peaceful. Notice that the light is peaceful and infinite without beginning or end.
Es pacífico. Nota que esta luz es pacífica y que no tiene ni comienzo ni final.
It's peaceful.
Pura paz.
Now, at first, if you haven't recognized the holy instant, it seems like someone's talking about a foreign thing.
Lo primero que uno entiende cuando se habla del instante santo es como algo desconocido.
And the ego goes, well, how come I'm missing out?
I didn't get it.
The ego goes, how come I'm missing out?
Y el,
How come everybody has the light but me?
y el ego puede decir, pero ¿cómo es que todos pueden ver la luz y yo no?
That's why he trains us through the course lessons and through forgiveness to release the no to seeing that that light is always here.
Y por eso Jesús nos entrena a través de las lecciones para que dejemos de negar a través del perdón que la luz está aquí.
Because all the energetic investment in consciousness is to say, I am not light.
Porque toda la inversión energética en el juego de la conciencia es decir, yo no soy la luz.
So it's fine to see that holy instant light thing for about a second, but you know, Jesus, I got my day to do.
Es importante reconocer que cuando podemos ver la luz en el instante santo, nosotros le decimos a Jesús, mejor no, tengo cosas que hacer.
I got something I gotta be doing.
Voy a estar ocupado.
You know, but anytime you hear a but, behind every but is a limiting belief.
Can you say
When you say but Jesus.
En cada pero a Jesús.
Yes, I would, whatever you're being guided to, I would do this, but
Yo tendría que hacer esto, pero
you comes in like this. I can't, and then whatever it is.
nosotros le decimos a Jesús, yo no puedo, lo que sea que Él nos diga.
Now, what's been really helpful for me is Jesus reinterpreted the word I can't to the truth is I won't.
Es muy útil para nosotros reconocer que Jesús nos está reinterpretando esta palabra, que nosotros le decimos, yo no puedo, y Él nos dice que estamos diciendo en realidad, yo no quiero.
So this is how this plays in consciousness.
Y esta es la manera en que la conciencia juega.
Divine instruction comes like this. Jesus gives it.
La conciencia, la expresión divina viene a través de Jesús y nos dice.
And this is when he's giving an instruction, he's aligning, he's showing us how to align with all the love of the Father.
Cuando Él nos da una instrucción, está tratando de enseñarnos a alinearnos con el amor del Padre.
So instead of going yes and aligning with the Father,
así que en vez de decirle que sí a alinearnos con el Padre,
the buts begin.
Los peros comienzan.
The buts and the I can'ts.
Los peros y los no puedo.
Which are really the I won'ts, Jesus.
Que son en realidad no quiero, Jesús.
It's really saying, I want to stay limited.
Que es lo mismo que decir, yo quiero ser limitado.
Jesus is saying you can do anything that he asks because you carry the power of the Father with you.
Jesús dice, tú puedes hacer cualquier cosa que yo te pida porque tienes el poder de Dios en ti.
But because of the habit of going, but Jesus, but God, and telling God how it is,
Pero por causa de este hábito de decirle a Dios, pero yo no puedo, yo no quiero,
and avoiding the expression of divinity,
vamos evadiendo la expresión de la divinidad.
okay, the light seems to be lost from the mind.
Y así parece que la luz se perdió de la mente.
It's like, why am I not happy?
Y después decimos, ¿por qué no soy feliz?
Because right here, instead of aligning with the Father's will and all the love he has for us, we want to make an exception.
Porque aquí está todo el amor que nos ofrece Dios y nosotros queremos excluirlo, queremos hacer una excepción de él.
It's like that sounds, going straight up to God sounds really good, but wait just a minute, because I got this thing to do over here.
Y esto es una invitación directa, podemos reconocerla, esa es vía directa hacia alinearse con Dios, pero nosotros le respondemos, espera un poquito, Jesús, tengo cosas que hacer.
So the willingness is merely, instead of going off to, when reality is up here, willingness to start to notice that this, the but Jesus, is the direct route to hell.
Y la voluntad consta de reconocer que todos estos peros y estos noes que le damos a Jesús son el camino al infierno.
The I can't because syndrome, that's a play in consciousness.
El yo no puedo es el juego de negar, es el juego en la conciencia.
So it's just a willingness to go, wait a minute.
Y la voluntad es decir, espera un momento, a ver, espera.
Just a second, and ask, is the light here?
Solo un segundo y pregunta, ¿está la luz aquí?
Is the light intimidated by something Jesus would ask? Is it running when Jesus asks something?
¿Está la luz siendo intimidada por algo que Jesús esté pidiendo?
It's just here.
¿Está aquí?
It's the willingness to admit that the light is here and it's not going anywhere.
Es la voluntad de admitir que la luz está aquí y que no se ha ido a ninguna parte.
To admit that the light's just here, it's not chasing you down.
Es admitir que la luz está aquí, que no se está arrancando a ninguna parte.
It's not going to strike you with a lightning bolt.
I don't
With
get it.
lightning, a bolt of lightning. We call them bolt, lightning goes like this. That's a bolt of lightning.
Okay. And what about that?
That light isn't going to hit you with lightning.
Okay. Que la luz no te va a llegar como un rayo en la cabeza.
It's just here.
Simplemente está aquí.
All the love of the Father here.
Todo el amor del Padre está aquí.
And then Jesus says, here's a book for you.
Y luego Jesús dice, aquí tengo un libro para ti.
Of all the reasons why you don't want to be it now.
Con todas las razones por las que tú no quieres ser la luz ahora.
And so when you look at this, you would go, holy smokes.
Y cuando lo mires vas a decir, uy, rayos.
But the ego likes to go into this book and start talking about, and having an intellectual conversation about what's happening in this book.
Y el ego entonces va a empezar a leer este libro y va a intentar tener una conversación intelectual acerca de qué es lo que está diciendo este libro.
Carrying the power of God
Portar el poder de Dios
is being determined to go to Jesus and have him tell you directly what every single line in this means.
es determinante para que tú le preguntes por cada línea de este texto, para que le preguntes qué significa.
Now, that's not to say you won't necessarily hear it through your brother.
Y esto no quiere decir necesariamente que no lo vayas a escuchar a través de tu hermano.
But ultimately, the atonement depends on the acceptance that voice is your voice.
La expiación depende de que tú estés dispuesto a aceptar su voz.
And to find that out is to talk to Jesus.
Y reconocer que esto es hablarle a Jesús.
And to see that he is available to you 24/7.
Y reconocer que Él está disponible para ti 24/7.
And if you're going to have a book like this, like he gives a book like this,
Y si Él nos va a dar un libro como este,
wouldn't it be a great idea to have the author of the book sit down with you and tell you line by line how to go through this book in the fastest way?
¿no sería buena idea sentarte con el autor de este libro y preguntarle línea por línea qué significa?
The fastest way to divine expression.
Esa es la manera más rápida de la expresión divina,
As a symbol in the mind of the one who has done it.
como un símbolo en la mente del que lo hizo.
And he knows that I really, really loved that he pointed me out to the Aramaic Bible, the Aramaic to English Bible translation by Vic Alexander.
Él me apuntó que leyera la Biblia traducida del arameo al inglés.
And I kept reading that part of the Bible that said that one of his last words is to God was, "Why have you forsaken me?"
Y yo leí esa parte que decía,
Like,
Jesús, ¿por qué me has abandonado?
it just didn't sound like Jesus.
Y que eso no suena como Jesús.
Lamana sabachthani, Lamana sabachthani.
¿En cuál está?
That is what he said in Aramaic. That's what is said that he said in Aramaic.
La mana sabactana. Él dijo eso en arameo.
My God, why have you forsaken me?
Dios, ¿por qué me has abandonado?
And he showed me in the Aramaic translation, it is Lama, il lamana spectani.
Pero él me mostró que en arameo era eso que acaba de decir que.
I said, Jesus, need I be concerned about the pronunciation? No, get the message.
Jesús dice, no te preocupes sobre la pronunciación, es el mensaje el que importa.
He's talking about the absolute reality and acceptance of absolute reality. For this I am granted or bestowed. I am given for this.
Él estaba hablando sobre el gran propósito universal, la existencia absoluta del amor. Yo estoy dado a eso.
And this is what we say. I am granted by the Father for this, for the recognition of all his love for me.
I didn't get it.
I am given by the Father for the recognition of all the love he has for me.
Dios me ha dado el poder de reconocer que todo, que ya me lo ha dado todo.
Now that's a totally different message coming from there.
Y ese es un mensaje totalmente distinto.
It is acceptance of the absolute reality of light.
Es la aceptación de la luz absoluta.
And denial that anything in the dream has any power over the Son of God.
Y la negación absoluta de que el sueño tenga algún poder sobre mí.
It's his willingness, it's willingness to see. Are we willing to answer the last unanswered question?
Y esta es la voluntad de estar dispuestos a responder la última pregunta sin contestar.
Am I willing to see what's true because it's been denied?
Estoy dispuesto a aceptar, a ver la verdad. No, estoy dispuesto a reconocer que negué
And
la verdad porque es la verdad.
And every lesson he gives is that you must turn into it and look directly with him.
Y cada lección que nos enseña es mirar directamente con él para reconocer esto.
He says, where your greatest fear is, there I am.
Él dice, donde está tus más grandes miedos, ahí estaré yo.
That's the willingness to turn in and start questioning the questioner.
Esa es la voluntad de empezar a cuestionar al que cuestiona.
To doubt the doubter.
Dudar del que duda.
And to know with certainty and investigate with all the power given you by God.
Y empezar a reconocer y a usar todo el poder que Dios nos ha dado.
Where every line in this text is true by your direct experience.
Y reconocer que cada palabra que está escrita en este libro es verdad, reconocerlo en tu experiencia.
and to look and have him guide with specificity to every denial of infinite light.
Y reconocer que bajo su guía nos va a indicar cada deseo que tenemos de negar la luz.
That it plays in consciousness hidden in the subconscious mind.
Todos los juegos escondidos bajo el inconsciente.
And who could know it better than him? What's hidden down there?
¿Y quién puede saber esto mejor que él? ¿Quién puede saber lo que está oculto ahí abajo?
Yeah, he's reminding me how he told me in a new covenant, the speed is the speed at, clearing all those denials
Y él me está recordando como me decía en el nuevo convenio, que la velocidad se trata de simplemente reconocer las negaciones.
is directly proportional to the amount of access that you give to me.
Y esta velocidad es directamente proporcional al acceso que le demos a Jesús a nuestro interior.
In terms of the willingness to have him just show me Jesus, show me, show me, show me, show me.
Tener la voluntad de que Él nos muestre, de decirle siempre, muéstrame Jesús, muéstrame, muéstrame.
Show me where I am denying myself the kingdom of heaven.
Muéstrame en qué parte me estoy negando a mí mismo el reino del cielo.
Show me the desires below my level of awareness for something other than all the Father's love.
Muéstrame mi deseo bajo mi nivel de conciencia en donde estoy negando el amor del Padre.
And he's giving such a simple and direct way of working with him.
Y Él nos da una manera tan simple y tan directa de trabajar con Él.
And powerful, powerful, powerful.
Y poderosísima.
Don't you think it would be helpful to ask him, because he's going to show you what to look at in this book first, one step at a time.
Y es muy útil hablar con Él porque Él te va a indicar qué leer en este libro, en qué orden.
And to follow his instruction of joining, it's essential to the atonement.
Y unirse es esencial para la expiación.
To join with your brother as a symbol of joining with him in a moment of light.
Unirse a tu hermano es un símbolo de unirse a Jesús en un momento de luz.
Because at first in the play of consciousness is just to avoid that voice and avoid speaking to Jesus.
Porque el juego de la conciencia consiste en evadir escuchar al hermano y evadir escuchar la voz de Jesús.
Or the voice for God or the Holy Spirit, whatever it's most helpful for you.
La voz de Dios o la voz del Espíritu Santo, como quieras llamarlo, lo que sea más útil para ti.
For me, he made it crystal clear that it was going to be his voice, Jesus.
A mí me dice que su voz, la voz de Jesús, va a ser como un cristal claro.
And until finally I couldn't say no anymore.
What?
Until I couldn't say no anymore. I had to say yes, yes, Jesus.
Y yo le dije a eso, sí, Jesús.
But then like this flip starts happening where for me, I cannot do it without him. There's just like, I need him. Like at first, like you don't want to have anything to do maybe with Jesus, or I was embarrassed by Jesus, and I'm going, he is my ticket.
Al principio uno no quiere aceptar su guía y su ayuda, pero luego se da cuenta y se invierte la manera de pensar para reconocer que nosotros realmente lo necesitamos a Él. Necesitamos su guía. Él es el medio, el ticket de salida.
He's the ticket up.
Es el pasaje al cielo.
And it is the direct experience in the beings here and the beings that have been here that he'll talk to you directly and coach you on anything you ask him.
Él te va a entrenar directamente en cualquier cosa que tú le preguntes.
So it's really just the willingness to just, drop every idea you have about anything and just say, okay, Jesus, start telling me.
Es tener la voluntad de abandonar cualquier idea preconcebida que yo tenga al respecto de esa pregunta y decirle, Jesús, dímelo tú.
It's just laying out the welcome mat. Here it is. I'm 100% available at your beck and call. Ooh, the ego doesn't like that.
Can you repeat?
Just put out the welcome mat to Jesus and say, I'm at your beck and call.
Jesús dice simplemente, mírame, yo estoy aquí. Llama solamente.
Now, first that might sound pretty horrible, beck and call of Jesus, but
Y al principio va a ser como, no vamos a tener deseos de preguntarle a Jesús.
But you'll see that divine expression depends on that
Pero luego verás que la expresión divina depende de eso.
as the only voice worth following.
Y esa es la única voz que tenemos que seguir.
But willingness is just, instead of playing the game of consciousness, it's like, okay, let's just see what's happening here.
Y la voluntad es, en vez de seguir jugando el juego de la conciencia, abrirse y decir, ya, veamos qué sucede aquí.
And if you're called to the Course in Miracles, you are called by that voice. And not only that, you can hear that voice.
Y si tú fuiste llamado a estudiar un curso de milagros, significa que tú estás llamado a escuchar su voz también, y tú la puedes escuchar.
But there are a couple of things that really need to shift
Y hay un par de cosas que tenemos que cambiar, invertir
in willingness.
en la voluntad.
One is the willingness when he tells you something to listen to him and follow him.
Una es que cuando te diga algo, cuando escuches algo, es escucharlo y seguirlo.
Well, of the two, and then invite him in. That's the first point. If we don't, the willingness is to invite him in.
La voluntad es invitarlo hacia adentro, invitarlo desde adentro.
Because the play of consciousness is to push God out and push Jesus out of our awareness.
El juego de la conciencia es empujar a Dios, a Jesús, afuera de la conciencia.
But the more we invite him in, the more you'll find the more he can help you.
Pero mientras más lo invites, más lo te abres a ti mismo para que Él te pueda ayudar.
The experience is here, and I've said that, I mean, you will talk to him you can talk to him all day.
Y esa es nuestra experiencia aquí. Tú puedes hablarle a Él todo el día.
The voice for God speaks to me throughout the day.
La voz de Dios me habla durante todo el día.
He said that for a reason.
Él dijo eso por alguna razón.
Because we need to speak to the voice for God throughout the day, and we need to be speaking the voice for God throughout the day.
Porque nosotros necesitamos escuchar y hablar su voz durante todo el día.
Because we practice, and the play of consciousness is to practice speaking with the forked tongue.
Porque el juego de la conciencia se trata de practicar hablar la voz.
Really speaking untruths.
Y estamos acostumbrados a hablar cosas que no son verdad.
So when you're focused on hearing his voice and speaking his voice, that is the washout of identity.
Y cuando nos enfocamos en escuchar su voz y en hablar su voz, eso es la purificación de nuestra identidad.
So he coaches, well, whatever you want to ask him, he'll coach you.
Y Él lo va a entrenar en lo que sea que nosotros le pidamos.
And again, the more we give him access, just Jesus, all parts of the mind, whatever, we have to be willing to look at all of it.
Y de nuevo, mientras más le demos acceso a Jesús, más nos va a mostrar.
You know, it's like, oh, that's kind of fun chapter. Let me ask Jesus about that. Some chapter in A Course in Miracles, that's an interesting chapter. And you can start there. Start with any line in A Course in Miracles and say, Jesus, tell me about this.
Tú puedes comenzar preguntándole a Jesús sobre el curso, sobre algún capítulo, alguna línea. Jesús, cuéntame sobre esto.
And he's saying, without exception, every single being can get to the point where you read a line and he'll tell you what is that you invite him in. You can read anything and he'll tell you his interpretation of it.
Y si tú lo invitas a él puede hablarte sobre cualquier cosa, si tú le estás pidiendo que te enseñe.
And that is really handy in a world full of COVID and all these other kinds of plays in consciousness.
Y eso es muy útil, es muy amoroso en un mundo de peligros del COVID y de todo lo que está sucediendo.
So the willingness is to have Jesus go down with you into the subconscious mind.
Así que la voluntad es pedirle a Jesús y que nos muestre, que nos lleve hacia lo que está debajo de la conciencia.
Here's an upset.
Por ejemplo, aquí hay un enojo.
Okay. Honesty of God. Admit it. That's willingness. Admit I am not at peace.
Honestidad de Dios, admítelo. Yo no estoy en paz.
Admit that you do not want, unless you're immediately feeling the miracle, like this, boom, upset, gone.
Si tú aceptas el milagro, va a ser como inmediatamente la desaparición de ese enojo.
He will show you where you do not want a miracle in that.
O Él te va a mostrar dónde no quieres un milagro.
Because miracles are like, we're miracle fountains, because we're made by God as a miracle fountain.
Porque Él es el que ofrece los milagros, Él los da.
So if we're not at peace, that means the only thing he says is he doesn't say discuss it. He doesn't say talk about it. He says join with me in a moment of light. Boom.
Cuando sentimos que tenemos esta molestia, conflicto, Él no nos dice, oye, háblame sobre esta molestia, qué es lo que pasa, siéntelo, sino únete a mí en un momento de luz y ahí se obra el milagro.
And ask me and I will reveal to you.
Y dice, pregúntame y yo te voy a revelar.
And as we've talked about many times here, you know, you'll think it's one thing, it's whatever's happening and this is happening. And he said, you don't know what it is. You don't know what's driving that experience.
Nosotros hemos hablado de esto muchas veces aquí, que a veces nosotros interpretamos, creemos que las cosas son de una manera, esto me pasa por esto, estoy enojado por esto, y Él nos muestra que no sabemos nada, nosotros no sabemos
So
las
it's like,
razones.
I'm not at peace. What is it, Jesus?
Así que la cosa es más
That's the
simple.
training in the
Yo-
life. Yeah, go ahead.
Así que la cosa es más simple. Yo no sé, Jesús, muéstrame tú.
Jesus, will you show me the desire beneath all of this?
Jesús, me mostrarás el deseo que hay debajo de esto.
And the ego's going to be saying all this stuff. Just ignore that. And you'll see. And you'll think it's one thing and it's going to be like over here. You know, you think you're over here and he goes, no, you need to look at this.
Y el ego va a empezar a decir, no, mira, esto es por esto y por esto, va a tratar de dar una explicación. Y nosotros tenemos que simplemente decirle no al ego y preguntarle a Jesús.
That's how specific he is.
Y Él va a ser muy específico.
He'll tell you exactly, here's the desire to look at right here, and then go down in that basement with him and keep going. And he'll tell you when that you have accepted the miracle.
Y Él te va a decir, este es el deseo, vamos profundamente a mirar lo que hay en el sótano para que Él te pueda liberar de eso.
And the experience here and with a lot of the beings that are looking, you know, we're looking all day with him.
La experiencia aquí con los seres del centro es mirar todo el día con Él.
He's definitely showing us where we do not want miracles.
Y Él definitivamente nos está mostrando en dónde nosotros no queremos el milagro.
Not even a little squeak of a miracle.
Ni siquiera un pedacito de milagro.
We need a miracle to accept a miracle,
Necesitamos un milagro para aceptar el milagro.
but it's helpful
Pero es útil.
because you can see where the kingdom of the Father is denied by choice.
Porque te puedes dar cuenta de que el reino del Padre está siendo negado por una elección.
It is chosen experience to choose these desires in order to obscure the light from awareness.
Es la elección del deseo para ocultar la luz de la conciencia.
And the growing realization is like, wow, Jesus, no kidding. I really don't want to have anything to do with the Father's love.
Y este gran darse cuenta es cuando uno mira y reconoce que yo no quiero tener nada que ver con Dios.
I have chosen this experience in consciousness to deny myself the kingdom of heaven.
Yo he escogido esta experiencia, este deseo en la conciencia
But at,
para negar el reino del cielo.
but at the same time, you'll see divine power and alignment. You'll see the release of those desires is the direct path to every single thing he says in A Course in Miracles is true.
Y lo maravilloso es que tú vas a ver que Él te va a liberar de estos deseos y que vas a poder experimentar que todo lo que dice en un curso de milagros es cierto.
It's impossible for anything to stand between the Son of God and the Father. They're one.
Es imposible,
It's impossible for anything to stand between the Son of God and the Father because they are one.
es imposible que estemos separados del Padre, del Hijo, porque es uno, es una sola cosa.
There's nothing that stands in the way of the experience of supreme happiness except the desire to dream of not being happy.
No hay nada que esté interfiriendo en el amor eterno del Padre y del Hijo. Solamente es un deseo de un sueño.
So for us to develop that relationship with him where we just keep putting out the welcome mat, show me, show me, show me, show me, Jesus.
Así que por eso es importante desarrollar nuestra relación con Él, de manera que Él pueda mostrarnos y nosotros tener la voluntad de decirle, Jesús, muéstrame, muéstrame, muéstrame.
That's the willingness to become the happy learner.
Esa es la voluntad de ser el alumno feliz.
That's the gateway to the truth of identity.
Y eso es lo que se nos ha dado para reconocer nuestra verdadera identidad.
So it feels like we'll sit for just a few minutes and you can invite him in, love. He's here with all of us, wherever two or more are gathered in my name. And just ask him to teach you. If you've not spoken to him a lot, you have, but sometimes we're selective because you wouldn't be at this. Who would come on a Saturday night unless you're speaking to Jesus?
I'm not sure.
Who would come on a Saturday night unless you can speak to Jesus to join the circle, the light
¿Quién?
circle?
¿Quién viene a estas sesiones de sábado de la noche si no es porque es capaz de escuchar la voz de Jesús?
So this is just, we just laying out the welcome mat. Okay, Jesus, I really want to speak to you more.
Y estamos dispuestos a reconocer, Jesús, realmente yo te quiero hablar más.
I want your voice to sing in my heart, and we sing together all the love of the Father.
Quiero que tu voz me cante en el corazón y que cantemos juntos sobre el amor de Dios.
So we'll just sit here for a few minutes and just listen to that deep voice within us speak of its love for us.
Y escucho que nos permitamos escuchar por unos minutos simplemente su amor y su voz.
Oh, thank you so much, Jesus, for being here for all of us and fulfilling your promise of A Course in Miracles for us.
Gracias, Jesús, por estar aquí, por estar con todos nosotros y enseñarnos a través de tu mensaje.
So I'm going to ask Christopher, I don't know if you would be prepared to play some music for us tonight.
Oh, no, tonight.
Okay, you don't feel something? I see Lori out there. Lori, you got your little butterscotch special over there. You want to do a Oh, look at
Oh, it's ready.
Okay, we got the one. Okay, that's wonderful. I'm going to record this though. So I'm just going to, I want to record this on the computer here. Let's see. I'm running out of space. It may not go. I'll try it. Yeah. Record during screen. I got to find, yeah, it may not record, but it'll be in the cloud. So it's in the cloud for everybody to see it. It's on YouTube. So yeah, go for it, Lori.
She's mute.
Oh, we have to unmute you. There we go. Let's see.
It's so good to be hearing the voice together. This is Golden Grace. She says hello. And she speaks the voice of Jesus very well.
Okay.
La guitarra habla la voz de Jesús muy bien.
This is called Feel the Real. How's that? Is that too loud?
I like it.
I wish I could translate it at the same time as I sing it. But if you want to hum, please hum along. Feel the real. The Father gives all power unto us. We are riders of the storm, bringers of light, saviors from the dark. Feel the real, the Father shines in our hearts. Feel the real. Feel the real. The Father gives all power unto us. We are riders of the storm, breakers of light, saviors from the dark. Feel the real, the Father shines in our hearts. Whoa. Riders of the storm, breakers of light, saviors from the dark. All is given. Whoa, all is given. Right now, all the love of the Father. All is given. Whoa, all is given. Feel the real. The Father gives all power unto us. We are riders of the storm, bringers of light, saviors from the dark. Feel the real, the Father shines in our hearts right now. Feel the real, the Father shines in our hearts. Feel the real, the Father shines in our hearts. Whoa, whoa. Sing that with me. Whoa, whoa, oh, we are riders of the storm, bringers of light, saviors from the dark. Feel the real, the Father shines in our hearts. All the love of the Father. Feel the real, the Father shines in our hearts. Feel the real, the Father shines in our hearts. Whoa. Oh. Beautiful light. Thank you. Hey.
Oh, thank you. Mary got him right on up there. So she put him in there. The Spirit comes through for all of us. We love you. Big hugs to all.
Abrazos. Los amamos.
Thank you, Lori.
Quédese-
Adiós.